Hey, namaskar everybody. I hope everybody's doing fantastic. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by and checking it out. If you're already a subscriber and you watch my videos, welcome back, and I definitely appreciate your support. You're asking yourself, what kind of adventure is in store for us today? Well, I was thinking, what a better adventure to do on a cold and gloomy day like today would be to go search for a vampire. That's right, we're gonna go search for a vampire. And if I can find it, I will show you a spot where the devil himself came from hell to take back 2 souls. So, get up, get your crucifix, get some garlic, and come on. Obviously, you could tell we're at a cemetery. But where are we? Well, we are in Erie, Pennsylvania. And not Erie, but Erie, E-R-I-E, Erie, Pennsylvania, as in Lake Erie. And funny enough, we are at the Erie Cemetery, one of 3 cemeteries in Erie. This was opened in 1851. Now, talks of opening this cemetery began a few years before that, but this opened in 1851, making this the oldest cemetery in Erie, Pennsylvania. Now, although there are lots of prominent people buried at this cemetery that were actually from Erie, Pennsylvania, such as the likes of Colonel Seth Reed, a soldier of the Battle of Bunker Hill. Guile Sanford, he helped provide supplies for Perry's fleet. You know Admiral Perry, the War of 1812, hey? Hold on, I don't need to say that, we're not Canadian. Now, if you know history, you know that was a joke. There's some U.S. congressmen buried in a cemetery as well, but there's some baseball players buried here as well. Take, for instance, Samuel the Jet Jethro. In the early years, he played for the Negro Leagues. He also played some Major League Baseball. He played for the Cleveland Buckeyes. He played for the Boston Braves. And my all-time favorite baseball team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Play ball. And last but not least, Edgar Cushman. He once played for the Milwaukee Brewers. Man, did you see that? See, I told you there were some very prominent people buried in this cemetery. Now, along with that, there are some myths and legends that are attached to this cemetery. And we are going to check a couple of them out. Up this hill is a crypt. And it's called the Brown Crypt, aka the Vampire Crypt. And that's where the myths and the legends come into play. Now, this cemetery is about 75 acres, I believe, so it's not hard to get around. My suggestion though, before you come here, after watching the video of course, download a map of the cemetery, maybe get a list of the people that you want to go see, and write them down. That way you won't have a lot of wasted time. But we're gonna venture up here to the Vampire Crypt. Now, I told you it was the Browns Crypt. That's because it's owned by the Brown family, although there's nobody inside this crypt by that family name. And there it is, the Vampire Crypt. Look at that. Wow, that's awesome. Now, they say that there are 7 people inside this crypt, 7 bodies. No one really knows for sure. They do know that the first person was of the Goodrich family. And there's supposed to be other members of the Goodrich family in there as well. Now the story goes that a wealthy Romanian came here to Erie, and soon after coming here he died of consumption. Now after he was put in the crypt, and that's who they say is in here, things started happening around Erie, around this area here. People were finding bodies that were drained of blood with bite marks on their neck. So the caretaker that was here found out what was going on, and I'm going to show you here in a minute. He came up here with a chisel, and notice there is no family name on this crypt. There are no markings anywhere on this crypt about who is in here. The only mark that is in here is right there, and some say that that's the mark of the vampire, the letter V. So the caretaker came here with a chisel, chiseled off the name, and he lit this on fire, and that's why they say it looks the way it does right now. He also chained this door shut so no one could get inside. So that is the story of why this looks the way it does, and that's who they say that is inside there. And no one really knows, again, for sure, because the records are just so incomplete of who's inside. Nobody knows for sure. Now, let me tell you another story. There was a young boy who came here, and he had himself a crowbar and a chisel, and he broke inside. Upon entering inside, and I'm sure it smelled putrid in there, he found a decaying casket, and inside that casket was a well-settled corpse. To prove his bravery, he stole the ring off the ring finger of the corpse, and he went to his best friend's house and showed his best friend the ring to prove that he was inside this crypt. And he trusted him with that story, didn't want him to tell anybody. The boy went home, and what do you think happened? Right, that friend told some other friends, now all the friends knew. So what did they do? They all got together and they went to their friend's home, knocked on the door. The mother answered the door. They wanted to see him. The mother told him that he's sleeping. Well, you know how boys can be, and friends, and they just persisted and persisted and persisted, and the mother was like, well, okay, you know, I'll go get him. She went up to her son's room and found out that her son was dead, with the ring finger torn from his hand. Now, there's yet another story, and I'm going to show you the crypt. I'm going to go around and show you. I'm just telling you the myths and the legends that go along with this crypt and why they call it the vampire crypt. Well, the second story that I'm going to tell you, where's this? It's the third. Another story that I'm going to tell you is that there was a group of teens. Now, I don't know if it was all boys. There could have been some girls in there. I don't know. But they planned a nighttime party here at the vampire crypt. Now, I'm sure there was some beer involved. I don't think they were drinking any Presque Isle Pilsner, though. I don't think Erie Brewing was around then. Maybe they were drinking Straub. I don't know. But they came here and they were partying, and they were telling stories. They were telling the legends. They were telling the myths. They were talking about the vampire. And there was one boy who, I'm just going to show you. He didn't believe the story. He was calling BS on the story. And what he did, look at that. That's great. what he did is he came up here. Now, I don't know where exactly he was up here. He could have been here, he could have been up there, he could have been up there. I don't know what he did, but he climbed on top of this crypt and he was mocking the vampire. He was mocking the stories, calling BS. Now, I told you it was nighttime. I'm hoping the wind doesn't really go on this video, because it's windy and cold. But it was nighttime, so nobody really could see what was going on. They did not see him fall, but they heard him screaming. Now, did he fall or was he pushed? That was me slipping. I wasn't pushed. But he was knocked unconscious and he was in the hospital. I don't know how he got to the hospital. The friends could have taken him. They could have called an ambulance. I don't know. But he ended up in the hospital. Well, he woke up. And upon waking up, he started screaming. Now, nobody was in the room with him, but the nurses did hear him. So they ended up running to the room to see what was going on. Well, he wasn't laying in bed. Where was he? He was outside on the window ledge. He ended up falling to his death. It sounds to me like something came to finish the job. I don't know. I don't know. Now, there's another story that I'm going to tell you that goes along with that as well. But let's walk around the crypt itself since we're here. This is awesome, and I tell you, the cemetery is really neat, and it's just, I tell you, look, there's just no markings on it. It's crazy. You can see that this is bolted shut. There's no windows in there at all. I don't know if that's a window that's just blackened over or not. Look at that. Yeah, they say this was lit on fire by the gatekeeper, and that's why it looks like that. Neat, right? Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, like I said, it's really cold out here and it's windy, so I'm hoping that wind doesn't interfere with the video. Now, the other story I was going to tell you that goes along with this crypt is there was a widow, and I don't know. She could have been up there. She could have been over there. I'm not sure. Maybe even down there somewhere. But she came to visit her dead husband. Well, a pack of dogs, black dogs, came out and started chasing her. Now, I heard some of the stories say that she was attacked but was able to get out of the cemetery. Some say that she was running and then she looked back and they were gone. Now, that's what I was going to say. Some people say they come here and they see the black dogs and they run and they look behind them and they have disappeared. So I don't know. But that being said, there is a coyote that roams this cemetery, and that has been seen. So that's awesome. I did want to show everybody something up here. Now, when I go to cemeteries, I'm used to seeing cemeteries like this. See how they're uniform? They're straight. That's what I'm used to. Look here. Look how these cemeteries, look how this cemetery is. Everything's in circles. These family plots are in circles. I don't even think this is a, yeah, this has to be a, yeah, it's a family plot. I see the different name over there on one of them. But everything's in circles. I've never seen anything like that. I find that just, I mean, it's awesome. It's kind of creepy, but awesome. Yeah, see, I'm used to seeing things like that. Everything's straight, but they're circles. And look, some of the names are on the outside, okay? And then when you get in here, they're on this side. So that's totally different. I've never seen anything like it. I wonder what that is over there. Looks like a dam or something, but I like that building architecture over there. So yeah, that was the vampire crypt, and that's one of the places that I wanted to show everybody, and I wanted to tell everybody about some of the myths and legends of it. And there it is. Boy, it looks nice in the fall here too, with all the color of the leaves and everything, but man, it is getting cold. It is sure getting cold. Let's walk past it one more time. The vampire crypt. Look at that. You know what man, that right there, look at that. That's awesome. You know, I'm surprised that I don't see no offerings here. Usually when I go to some of these cemeteries, and I was walking around, I've seen some at some of the other ones, but I don't see any here. So that's odd to me, but you know. Now, I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna end up walking to the bottom of this hill. I got a little walk ahead of me here. We are going to try to find the witch's circle. Now, the witch's circle is that area that I was telling you that the devil came from hell to take the souls back. So I'm gonna go down to the hill. I'm gonna walk down to the bottom of the hill, and hopefully I see you in a little bit. Okay, I made it, and I think I found it. I think it's over there is where the witch's circle is. Which is weird because I've seen better circles than that one, but I believe that's the witch's circle. And you know, I just wanted to say, there's a lot of wildlife going around here. I've seen a lot of squirrels, and they're just, they're getting all their food ready for winter time. And when I was walking up that hill, I wish I would have got it on film. There was a black cat walking around, and he was walking up that hill towards the crypt, and that was even before I parked the car, so that's why I didn't get it on film. I didn't see it anymore. It just disappeared. So I'm just saying. But here is the witch's circle, and we're gonna focus on 2 of the graves. That one right there, and I want to say maybe this one, maybe. I think yeah, it would have been this one right here. Now, the legend for this area is that these 2 gravestones I showed you, that one there and this one here. See, I just want to show you around. They say that these 2 burials, the people that are buried underneath these tombstones, were actually witches from Salem. And I'm just telling you the legend. Well, the devil came from hell to grab their souls and to take them back with them. And that's why they're scorched the way they are. Hellfire. Now, whether that story is true, I don't know. I can tell you, I don't think witchcraft has anything to do with Satanism. So, you know, but whatever. It's a cool story. It's a neat story. They say, though, that the reason they're, you know, charred like that, or the discoloration, is because of acid rain. But being that I like myths and legend, I'm gonna say that the devil came and took their souls. Now let me show you something else. This grave that I'm gonna show you, I think it's bound and can never leave. Look at that. The tree just entwined it and engulfed it. That's a tombstone. That's a grave right underneath this tree. And that's what they say when a tree is buried above a grave like that, that soul, that spirit is just bound and it cannot escape, it cannot leave. So I don't know. Hey, there's a balloon up there. So yeah, we found the witch's circle. So that was a pretty awesome adventure we did today. It wasn't a long adventure. It was actually longer for me than it was for you watching the video, because I was also looking around, doing some other things, and you know, such. That was awesome. Wow. That was really, really cool. Sweet. I think this is where I end my video. And I hope you liked today's adventure. I thought it was pretty cool. I've wanted to come up here for quite some time after hearing the legends and the lores of this place. I want to thank everybody for watching, joining me. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Definitely like the video. It helps all the channels out, whatever channel you watch. I plan on making a lot more. I'm always going somewhere. You guys know that. So what I would do is, when I'm done here, I'm probably going to leave an offering. I suggest get done watching the video and maybe say your own offering. Just something a little extra to save your neck. So, until the next adventure, wherever that takes us to, Fairmalank. Kitty, 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 kitty. What did I tell you? Black cat. I'm gonna go over here because I just want to show you. I hope it came up on the video. I told you, it was the craziest thing. Look, he just disappeared again, somewhere. I don't know where he went. Wow. I hope I got him. I hope I got him on the video. That was cool. That was awesome.